How many screens can you see on this smartwatch? No, you're wrong. There's two. You can't tell there's actually two, but there are. This is the OLED screen that you'd normally expect to see on a Wear OS smartwatch. But there's also a second display panel laid over the top, which is an LCD screen, and you can see it in action here. It's a really unusual solution to getting the maximum amount of battery life out of your smartwatch, which notoriously need charging way more than we'd prefer. This is the Ticwatch Pro. We rather like it. You can see the design here is actually quite stylish. It's not in your face. It's not packed full of visual flourishes that make it stand out, but it is a very sensible, nicely made design. This is a stainless steel bezel and it's mounted on it's actually a reinforced nylon body, but if you want to know what that feels like, it just feels like textured plastic. And there's two buttons on the side here. They do what you'd expect to do. So you hold down this button and you get Google Assistant. And on this button, you hold it down and you get the chance to enter something called Essential Mode. I'm going to show you that in a second once we take the watch off. Now, what makes Essential Mode and the Ticwatch Pro quite special is when you enter Essential Mode, we'll start it up there. As it says, it greatly extends the battery life. And that's because it switches off Wear OS entirely, and it just gives you the LCD screen here that shows you the time, the date, your step count, and this little indicator down the bottom here is for battery life. Mobvoi says that the Ticwatch Pro will get 30 days of battery life running just on this. Returning out of Essential Mode, you go back to Wear OS as you would do normally, so you can link it up to your iPhone or your Android device and get notifications and calendar things, all the things you'd expect from a smartwatch. The Ticwatch Pro costs $250 or £220 in the UK, and it's extremely good value. Not only is it an attractive smartwatch with good battery life, I know, shocking, but it also has the features we don't always see in a reasonably priced smartwatch. So you get GPS inside, you have NFC for Google Pay, and you have a heart rate sensor on the stainless steel back here. There's the charging port at the side as well. So there's plenty of features inside the Ticwatch Pro that make it extremely tempting. And that's before you have the extended battery life possible from either using Essential Mode all the time, or, as we've been doing, swapping between Essential Mode and Smart Mode with Android with Wear OS. And you just sort of get this mixture of low battery usage for just showing us the time to regular smartwatch stuff with this. And we've been able to get 4 or 5 days use out of the battery charge. And that's pretty great for an Android Wear smartwatch. Negatives? Well, it runs Wear OS, which is not the best operating system. It can be a little bit sluggish to use. We're not a big fan of all of the endless notifications that run as a list. It's fine on an Android phone, as this is connected to right now. It's way worse when you connect it to an iPhone, and we can't really recommend it if you're going to connect to an iPhone. On an Android device, it's much, much better. The Snapdragon processor inside has only got 512 megabytes of RAM to play with, and it does get a little bit sluggish. But for the money, you get an awful lot of features, and you get an awful lot of battery life too, which is something we very rarely say about a smartwatch. The Ticwatch Pro is available through Amazon at the moment, and it's an Amazon exclusive for several months, so you're going to have to only buy it through that retailer if you want one. But for the money and for the battery life, it's a solid prospect if you've got an Android phone dying for a smartwatch.